Alright guys, I figured I'd do an overview slash update of the car, and figured I'd do it on video instead of typing a bunch of crap in the sloppy page. So here it goes. So those of you who know the car know that it's LS swapped. Has a 4L80E Circle D budget converter. That I actually got that converter before, like when they first started selling them, and I figured it was a Circle D, so it was probably good. And now a lot of people are using them and with good results, and I'm very happy with it. So, little thing on the converter. The 80E itself is totally stock. Shifts pretty hard, surprisingly, so that's cool. Rear end is a stock 8.2 10 bolt. I put a yukon duragrip, which is like an Auburn style clutch style posi with 390 gears, stock axles. Those of you that know the car know that it used to have a 4.8 with a cam. Now it has the 6-liter, which I'll get into in a little bit. It's microsquirt. On a Walbro 450 in tank. I made these headers just recently from big block Chevy headers, and originally the first primary came like all the way out to here, so I lined the back one up and I just cut each one to fit, and I angled them so the spark plugs would clear. So that was kind of a big job. I did that when I put this engine in, and I also painted the fender wells and stuff and made it not so sloppy looking, so I'll probably get some hate for that from these guys. But other than that, that's a basic rundown. It's got an '03 Ford Focus radiator and fans. That works pretty good. Got my Jack Daniels overflow. I made my own motor mounts. I don't know if you can see, it's a little dark. So motor mounts I made. Transmission mount, I modified the original one. I moved it back about 4 inches and I cut like a bunch out of it and welded a bunch of like plate steel to it and reinforced it and whatnot. So that works good. These headers are 1 7/8. They go to 3.5-inch collectors and then neck down to 3-inch up to the mufflers, and then they're 2.5 out the back. So been doing a lot of work to this the past couple months when I have time. I mean, I come home on the weekends usually from college, but I just put in this engine about a month ago now. It's an '04 LQ4 with Gen 4 rods and Gen 3 everything else, so that's cool. I got this out of a 3500 Chevy van. I had this engine in the car about 1.5 years ago in the summer. At the time I blew up one of the first 4.8 that was in the car, and I was daily driving this, so I really needed an engine. So I bought a van, took the engine out, put it in here, and turned out that this thing had all kinds of problems. Like the head gaskets were leaking internally and externally. Cylinder number 5 was burning a bunch of oil and coolant, and I figured it was just the head gaskets. I tried changing one, then it was still leaking and giving me all kinds of crap. So in frustration, I kind of just bought another 4.8, which is over there now. Bought another 4.8 and put it in and kept driving the car. I put a cam in it, and I think that's how everyone saw it at the last dyno day. It did 285 wheel through the 80E, so that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that, but it's kind of a dog under like 3500. So yeah, I got this engine back inside. It was sitting outside for a while since then, so I brought it inside. I basically took it all apart. I put new bearings in it. I got new head bolts because the old ones I put on and off and they're all shitty, and I don't know, I just wanted to start fresh. So I got new head bolts, new head gaskets. I had the block hot tanked and the cam bearings done. Yeah, and then I put it all together. The crankshaft looked a little shitty at the time, but I figured it'd probably be okay. Turns out it wasn't, because I had the car running for about a day or two, and it lost all oil pressure. I had no oil pressure at all. And it's because this guy, I don't know if it'll focus. Yeah, I don't know how good you could see that scoring, but it's pretty bad. You feel it really good on your fingernail. So this thing shit the bed. So I took the engine out. I bought another crankshaft off Craigslist for $80. Came out an LQ9. And slapped it all together again. I actually didn't even pull the heads off. I just turned the engine upside down and I unbolted all the pistons and pushed them into the bores. And I just lifted the crank out and put the new one in and then reconnected everything. So that's kind of funny because I didn't want to take the heads off again. So I did that. Now I put this back in the car. Now I'm still having oil burning problems on cylinder number 5. Sometimes it's a little smoky. The plug is really oily. So that kind of sucks. It's probably the rings, since I'm an idiot and I never changed the rings. I figured it'd be fine, but obviously not. So within the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going to pull this out again and do the rings. So that should be fun. Don't really feel like doing that, but whatever. It's part of the game. I want the car to be good to go. Don't want to look like Joe Dirt, being all smoky, oily. Other than that, I just put in a adjustable upper control arm for this car. It's a 3-link setup, so it has this upper control arm. This is the old one, and it has like a panhard bar and 2 connecting arms, control arms on the bottom. So I put an adjustable one in because the pinion angle is kind of high. The car wheel hopped a little bit, sometimes a lot of bit, and then around 90, 100 miles an hour, you start feeling like a pretty good vibration going on. So, and that's no fun, so I figured try and fix that. So I'm hopefully that fixes it. I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm assuming that was probably the problem. Another thing that just started going on was I was hearing like a loud clunking, like rattling noise or some shit back here. And then I realized that the back window is like totally loose. Like the top was glued still, but the whole bottom was like unglued. I could push the window out like a ½ inch. So that was pretty weird. So today I just pulled the back window out and I scraped all the shit out. And I found a pretty sweet rot hole right here, which, I don't know. Now's the time to fix it now that the window's out. So I'm going to try my hand at some metal working, body work. Kind of sucks because it's on the paint over here. So you're going to see it. So I'm going to have to try and find some paint that matches this. So that's kind of bummer, but I'm kind of actually looking forward to trying this out. I always thought metal work like that was kind of cool, so who knows? Maybe after this I'm going to not be so excited about that, but so for now that's what's going on. I'm going to try and get this back window back in soon. This is the package tray, which is all rotted and shit. So I'm going to make a new one of those, or buy a new one. I'm not really sure yet. Try and spruce that up a little bit. I had to take the back seat out to get this out. That's why it's all empty back here. But I don't know. Other than that, that's pretty much what's been going on with this. For now, this engine is kind of just a spare. This thing's a Champ. It's a really early 4.8 Gen 3 paper head gasket. It still has the TrickFlow 220, 224 cam in it. That's probably going to end up in my brother's Nova over here. That is a 4.8 stock cam GT45. So that's probably going to end up in there. Or who knows. I don't know what's going on with this. This is kind of just chilling out over here for now. So other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to get this car real turnkey reliable for the summer, because I usually drive the fuck out of this thing and I beat on it a lot. So like anyone else should. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for your support. Everyone always likes this car, which I think is really awesome. Everyone's always like super psyched to see it and they think it's great. So, which I wasn't really expecting. The 2 times I took it to the dyno days, everyone was like, this is great. So I thought that was really cool. So thanks for that, guys. If you got any questions, you could hit me up in the Sloppy Mechanics page or wherever you find this. So thanks, guys. See ya.